Hey, Ian. Good
Hey,
morning.
Prashant, how are you? Good
I'm doing
afternoon.
good. How about you? Good afternoon, rather.
Yes,
Right.
sir. We're doing well. We're in the Friday afternoon
Yeah.
mode here before a holiday weekend.
Yeah. All set for the long weekend.
Yep, we're headed out of town to visit some friends. How about
Nice to hear
yourself?
that. Yeah. I pretty much do not have any plans. I think I would be sleeping at home.
Okay. Well, in any case, take the next 3 days off.
I will.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay.
We are
I think.
ready to get
Mhm.
started. Are you going to have an introduction for us, Prashant?
Yes. I just was waiting for the clock to tick one.
Okay, that would be a good idea.
Hmm. Okay. I think we are good to start. And let me start with the introduction, introducing everyone with what we are going to show, and we can carry on from there. Should that be fine?
Yep.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome back to our 5-part webinar series, Get to Know Dynamics CRM Online. I am Prashant Rao from Computer Solutions East, and along with me is Ian Smith from Syncretic Solutions. Hope you guys had a very productive past 20 days and a very good plan set for the coming weekend. Today, part 3 of our demo series deals with sales automation. Sales is the lifeblood of any business, the main source of revenue, and the most important medium of achieving the primary objective, profit. Most of us SMBs live on a sales process that is either not defined or not documented properly. This is why most of our sales resource fail to follow a specific process. This non-existence or non-adherence of a defined sales process results in less productivity and less profits. According to a Harvard Business Review published last year, 44% of executives think their organization is inefficient at managing their sales pipeline. This statistics is discouraging for us because there is a direct correlation between an effective pipeline management and a strong revenue growth. Last year, there was 18% difference in revenue growth between companies that defined their formal sales process and companies that didn't. They further suggested a 3-point approach to achieve higher sales success. First, clearly defined sales process. Second, spend at least 3 hours a month on pipeline management. Third, train sales manager on pipeline management. This is what we are going to talk about today. Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online has unique capabilities that let you define your sales process and walks each of your sales resource through this sales process step by step. It allows you to branch out different possibilities of sales process using conditional logic. This ensures adherence to sales process defined by you and growth in productivity. I will now give out the floor to Ian, who would introduce you to the world of sales automation with Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online. Ian.
And thank you, everybody. Thank you, Prashant. Thanks for attending on a Friday afternoon. So I'm going to jump right into it. The few slides here, and then we'll get into the demo. So this is a 5-part webinar series, and in the first part we were intending to show that when we're talking about a customer experience, we're talking about an amazing customer experience, which is the differentiator, and that implementing CRM does not have to be difficult if you start with some tools that you're already familiar with. We also showed mobile productivity and business insights. An exceptional customer experience will differentiate your company. There's omni-channel, highly communicative organization is using any number of these tools that are available. It doesn't have to be Skype-for-Business, but there's ways to integrate your CRM system with your telephone now. So we're going to be showing that today. And of course, Skype-for-Business is a nice option for instant messaging, screen sharing, phone calls. And then also there's mobile integration. So besides in-person meetings and phone calls, there's a whole web of new capabilities for the highly communicative organization. There's also an intention to make employees more productive. Again, starting with tools that everybody's familiar with, like Outlook, although as the generation gap grows, more and more of our younger generation users are not using the traditional tools that some of us have been using since Windows came out way back when. But it's nice to know that Microsoft is also keeping up, and that the online tools are now as integrated as the desktop applications from yesteryear. With CRM, making employees more productive, guided business processes are really kind of the nerve center of where we spend our day. They're helping optimize these processes based on your best practices for your business, for sales, for customer service. So we're going to look at the guided business process again today, and we're also going to look at how CRM integrates with Office 365, with the new and improved Office 365 Groups functionality. A lot of what we're seeing with CRM Online in particular, and things like Power BI, is just every release things get better, they get more stable. Even just a minor release or an incremental release like Update 1 for Office 365 was a big improvement for me. I did a presentation 6 weeks ago, and it was on CRM 2016, but now we have Update 1, and Office 365 Groups is much more stable from what I've noticed just from demoing it. So as we progress, things get better. And you want to know your customer better than your competitors do. So this goes with creating that customer experience, having all your customer history in one place, utilizing the tools that come with CRM Online like InsideView Insights. So we're definitely going to take a look at that today. Mobile productivity, again, enhanced with each version. So offline capabilities now. We're going to take a look at that and talk a little bit more about that. We can also use guided business processes and task-based experiences. We can configure our own task-based experiences. So all that is really just kind of common tasks and routines that your salespeople or whoever's mobile in your organization have to deal with to really keep up their communications and keeping track, like tracking your sales calls and your visits and your contact updates and your appointment updates, your notes, estimated close dates, estimated revenues, products. All these things can be done now with the mobile device, and they can be done simply and quickly, which makes them actually get done. Because if they're not simple and they're not quick and they're not efficient, they're not going to get done, and you're going to get excuses instead of data. So they're also able to generate Word documents on the fly. They can export Excel within their mobile device. So there's all kinds of capabilities. Things are just converging with a high level of integration. The business insight capabilities in CRM, I think you're going to be pretty impressed today with what we're going to show you with dashboards. I mean, dashboards have been around for a long time, but again, they just keep getting better. InsideView Insights, I'm going to show that again today. You never get tired of showing that and looking at it and spending time in there and finding out more about your customers and finding out other customers who are similar to your best customers. So all kinds of good stuff inside the InsideView Insights. Excel templates, I think we've covered that in the past, and it's just great that you can export an Excel spreadsheet export any data in your CRM system. And you can either use it for a template of data analytics or sales analytics. Once you set up that template, you're good to go, and you can reuse it. You can also take Excel data from CRM, change it outside of CRM, and re-import it. So great integration there again with Excel. Power BI, I mentioned, as part of the dashboards for CRM. Now you can put the Power BI tiles directly into the CRM system. More stuff that we covered in part 2. Oh, actually, yeah, this was part 2, was the marketing automation. And, in a recent presentation that we saw from Microsoft when they launched Update 1 of CRM 2016, the Spring Wave, was that the CRM system is going to be at the center of your digital strategy. So purposes would be to engage your customers, enable your employees, optimize your processes, transform your business. If you're using Microsoft Dynamics CRM, you kind of see the capabilities of the system, and with all the integration, you're starting to see that CRM really is the hub of your digital strategy. So that's kind of a big deal. It's a lot. There's a lot of moving parts there. You definitely, if you're implementing CRM, you do want to keep it simple. You don't want to overextend yourselves, but there's capabilities there where you need them, and you just want to kind of focus on what you need to start with and not try and bite it all off at one time, because there's a whole boatload of integrations here, which I'm gonna allude to in a minute. Marketing automation, so using the tools to nurture your prospects. If you do that, there's a chance that you're going to have 451% increase in qualified leads. Who doesn't want that? Marketing automation, we discussed, is not magic, but it's rather a collaborative effort of sales and marketing together. So there's definitely some intelligence that needs to be built into the processes there. It doesn't happen by itself. But it can be an automated, interactive, and relevant experience for your customers and prospects. So like I said, with all this technology, I feel like I'm sitting at the helm of the Starship Enterprise. And at this point, I'd be interested to know what sales and marketing automation would do for you in a perfect world. So we have a poll question here. Prashant, if you want to put that up.
Sure, in a moment.
Okay.
There you go.
All right. Well, I can't actually see the poll, but let me know. I'll give you guys a minute to answer. And some of the things coming down the pike, if they're not already either in preview mode or already released for sales and marketing automation within the CRM system, they have this whole idea of intelligent customer engagement. So we're talking about cross-selling, upselling, providing recommendations. You pick a part, and it says, "Oh, did you ask the customer if they need, spare parts or support to go with that?" When your customer service people are working on cases, there's going to be recommended answers based on the analytics of all the knowledge base articles that are out there and the kind of information that you're typing in about the current case. The social engagement piece, these posts are coming in, and the intelligence that's operating in the background is going to help you identify any posts out there on Facebook or Twitter that look like they might be customer service cases waiting to happen, or potentially buyers that could become new leads. Also, yeah, let's go ahead and switch to what you guys think some of the opportunities would be for sales and marketing automation in a perfect CRM world.
So I'll be closing the poll right now. And we have received responses from all our audiences. So it says 80% of the people think that the answer should be automate routine sales process tasks, followed by a tie at 3 levels, which is identifying customers that are ready to buy, enabling sales performance analytics, and convert early stage website visitors to customers, standing at 2nd level. And the least important, but more, least but not as in least thought of, is keeping sales customer services rep focused.
Cool. All right. Well, good stuff. If you guys have more ideas, please go ahead and type them in as we go along. By the way, we also have Ryan Pennant joining us from QGate today, and we're going to be demoing the QGate Intelli-CTI computer telephone integration product. So in short, I call it the CRM telephone integration. So it's a different acronym for CTI, but keeps it simple for me. And Ryan is our partner account manager, and I'm going to be demoing some of this technology. And if I don't I'm not able to answer all your questions, Ryan's here. So any questions on computer telephone integration for CRM, you know, feel free. If we can't answer them all today, you know, we'll definitely get back to you. Any other thoughts on sales and marketing automation that I'm not covering for you that you want to hear about? Please let us know. You can just type your questions into the questions window. But thanks for that. So here's what we're going to cover today. I have a 6-part sequence here, and I'm going to go over the CRM dashboard with Power BI. I'm going to do lead management. I'm going to do opportunity management. I'm going to do mobile, and I'm going to do an Adxstudio portal entry of an opportunity, and we're going to demo again the CTI calling capabilities. So it's not exactly the latest, greatest script here that I have on the screen, but I think you get what I'm going to be doing here. So this is just I'm going to jump into the demo now. So I'm going to tell you right now that there's a bunch more slides here that I'm not going to probably cover, but they'll be part of the presentation. So we'll upload the deck at some point, and you'll be able to have access to it. And then let's see what else. Okay, so I'm going to just go ahead and jump into the demo at this point. This is my cue. So when I'm working in CRM, I like to go to the dashboard. And what we have is we have the traditional dashboards, and then we have Power BI dashboards. So in the past, Power BI, you have to log into app.powerbi.com to get all of your Power BI dashboards that are related to CRM. You can actually take any of those tiles and you can place them right into a CRM dashboard. It's really super easy to configure. So if I wanted to change out one of these dashboards, I could create a whole new dashboard with 6 panes on here and put a tile on each pane, or I could just change out one of the panes. So these are the Power BI dashboards that I have available, and then these are the dozens of tiles that are available on each one. Okay, waiting for that to close. It's not responding to my clicks. Dashboards. Let's go back here. Okay, I'm not sure why that didn't save, but I'm sure if I hit refresh at some point it'll come back. So I just want to show you that there's any number of tiles that we could pull in. And in fact, we can actually browse right to the Power BI from our CRM system. There's a link there now. And this is the big Power BI dashboard. And this is not even all of the tiles, but this is a whole bunch of them. I'm just going to scroll around a little bit so you can see them. So these are different types of graphics that you can use for representing your data. So there's more and more all the time. Obviously, people get creative about what these graphical depictions of your data should look like. If anybody's brave, you know, when they get a chance, they can ask a question in this natural language query here about your data. I think you need to take some language classes to get that to work, but it is available, and there's some suggestions here. So that was a very simple answer. There's also Insights, which gives you an analytics view of your data, of all the things that you might not have realized that the business intelligence analytics pack is looking at in terms of what's statistically relevant or significant or interesting about your data from the Power BI perspective. What I'm going to show here is some of the reports that go. So this is the Microsoft Dynamics CRM Online Sales Manager. And even with the big dashboard, we take it to another level and we have smaller dashboards. So this is a sales performance dashboard, so it's really kind of focused on that. It's kind of limiting the scope a little bit of what's being presented. So again, a leaderboard. These are called slicers over here. We can take the sales leaderboard and we can filter by a very specific pick list or option set that's associated with all of those opportunities. And then we can also have page level filters. So within the page level filters, you can say I only want to see data from the last 90 days or only see data from the last 80 days, or which particular fiscal year or fiscal month that you're working with. So this is like free out of the box. So if you're starting out with Microsoft Dynamics CRM, you're going to have content packs, and I'm going to say that these will typically work with CRM Online. If you're working with CRM on-premise, you can build your own dashboards, very similar to this. There's templates that you can use where the difference is that this data right now is in a CRM Online database, and it's not going to work with an on-premise CRM database, but again, you can create a template where you're putting your data in a format that the CRM system is going to be able to read, or the Power BI system is going to be able to read, and then you'll be able to get very similar dashboards with, you know, it's a great starter point. It's never going to be 100% of what you're looking for, but when you look at some of these analytics, it's a heck of a head start. So that's where we're going. I mean, these are the kind of dashboards that we're going to be able to create going forward. I mean, literally out of the box. So I'm going to jump back to the CRM system. I'm going to go to from the Power BI dashboard. Okay, I'm a little bit stuck here. There it is. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to have that open twice. I'm going to go back to a regular dashboard. So from my regular dashboard, I can see my sales activity. So here's where I can really just stay focused on my open leads, my open opportunities, my phone calls that need to be attended to, follow-up phone calls, tasks that are associated with my leads and opportunities. I see where I am compared to my goals for the month, and you know, $30 million for the quarter, no problem. And where I am on the leaderboard. So second to last, that's not good. We're going to have to change that. So let's see if we can find an opportunity here. And I'm going to go ahead and take a look at one of these leads that has a high lead score. And lead score is just something that we talked about that a lot in our last session, where, you know, depending on when a prospect is in your pipeline, you can progress their lead score. So I have it up here in the header now. And if they submit a form, or if they click on a link, visit your website, download a white paper, you can begin to progress the lead score. If you're quoting opportunities for them, you know, they're definitely looking like they're ready to buy, and their lead score is going up and up. So this helps those leads bubble to the top. So I know which ones are interesting from a perspective of, you know, potential customers ready to buy. So I'm working here in a guided sales process. So this is a lead to opportunity demo sales process, and this is guiding me, the demo person, and me, the salesperson persona, through a typical sales. This is a lead qualification sales process, and it's just saying some routine things like, hey, you know what, hit F11 so that your customers can have a better experience. So you should be able to see the CRM system in a full screen here. and discuss the user interface. Okay, so again, we did cover this in previous webinars, but you have the header, the guided business process, summary information, related entity information, and we have our insights section down here. Any activities are all going to be in one place. So this is kind of starting to look like the center of the universe, at least for this lead, and all your information is in one place. So with the trying to get to know your customer better, I'm going to take a look at the Insights module, which is built into CRM Online. It's also available for CRM On-Premise. So what I'm looking for when I go to the Insights is I'm looking for company information, I'm looking for connections, and I'm looking for conversation starters. So in this case, I don't have any connections, but a lot of times I'm going to find that when I come in here, if that I know that, or is that if there's anybody in my company that knows somebody at AstraZeneca, then they're going to show up here in connections, and they're going to provide me with a way to network, to find information about the company, what's happening on the ground, or people, provide me with introductions to people that I want to meet there. So again, here I can start to see some people that are in the InsideView database that are at this company. I can look for LinkedIn connections. So again, I can see everybody that I could possibly, secondary connections to people at AstraZeneca. And a lot of times what I'll do also is, I'll look for people, and then it's not showing up here because I don't really have any connections. But if we have another opportunity that comes up, I'll show you how you can associate people that you might not have presently had in your network, but because of the power of this tool, which is looking out over all the people that are at that company that are in the database, not just your database, but your network's database, or in the database that your network might be able to introduce you to, and to help you get a leg up in the sales. And so we're going to take a look at that when we get to the opportunity stage. But in this case, I'm going to go ahead and make a phone call to this person. As soon as I can get back to my CRM system. When you're in your F11 full screen mode, it does hide some of the navigation areas. So it can be a little bit disorienting sometimes once you get used to it, though. So I have the Skype-for-Business set up here, so I'm going to go ahead and make a phone call to this person. And in order to do that, I pull up my CRM telephone integration, and my lead comes up here, and I just go ahead and dial. So it's hands-free, one-click dialing, and I have some phones going off here. So I'm going to go ahead and answer that, and I'm going to get some feedback because I'm on the phone at the same time. So I'm actually going to hang up the call, and during that time I can enter my call notes. And I'm also going to create a follow-up opportunity, a follow-up phone call to call him in the coming week. And let's see.
While we are waiting for that to happen, I would request all the audience members, in case if you have any questions or suggestions, please feel free to put them in onto the questions window. And in case if you have any questions, we'll try to answer them. Even during the webinar, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask them through the questions window.
Very good, thank you, Prashant. And also we have again Ryan Pennant here from the partner, QGate with the Intelli-CTI. And so as you see, the window popped up to provide me an opportunity to schedule a follow-up phone call in regard to this opportunity, at least in regard to this lead. And the notes that I entered in the phone call come over into the follow-up phone call. So I really like that because scheduling follow-up phone calls is an important part of keeping track of your sales leads. And so then when I go back to my lead, I'm gonna be able to, let's see, 5 computer recent records. Where do you go? Ah, there he is. I can see all my activities in one place now. So I can see the completed phone call that I called Fred to talk about the project, and then this is really the follow-up to, again, talk about the same project, apparently. So that's what I got in terms of lead qualification. So we did our research. We went and found out about, you know, who else might be involved in the project. When we look at the guided business process flow, I have a little bit of logic in here that shows, you know, that there's some automation. So basically what it says, if I had this blanked out, I can demo that. So I'm going to hit save. And what it's saying here is, hey, you know what? The purchase process says that it was a committee-based purchase process, but you have not confirmed that actually a decision maker was identified. So I'm going to go ahead and confirm that I have somebody lined up that we actually do know who the decision maker is, and then it'll actually allow me to save the demo. Save the lead. And that's, again, it's context sensitive. It's automation. It's a business rule. There's all kinds of business rules that you can implement to automate these guided business processes. There's conditional branching. There's workflows that can be run. You can hide and show different areas of the screen. You can make fields required or not required. So it's really based on your business process to configure this. So at this point, I'm going to go ahead and qualify the lead. And it's not going to let me do that because I have some more things that need to be filled out here. So I did add the, again, being in a demo environment, I'm just saying what we're doing and kind of so I don't forget. So I did the phone call with the Skype-for-Business, and I'm identifying the time frame for the purchase and the estimated budget. And again, the purchase process, and I always like to have an estimated close date. So once I save all that, then I should be able to qualify. So I would have gotten blocked because these red asterisks here wouldn't let me advance the process unless those things were filled out first. So what we're doing now is we actually transitioned right from a lead to an opportunity without ever leaving our screen here. And we're presented now with the next stage of the sales process. And we're just looking through some capabilities of the system to say, what is it that we need to do next? And I can even switch the process if I want to. We can have workflows in place that would switch the process. So I'm going to identify what the data source was for this opportunity. And I can tell you as part of our demo that if the lead is coming in from a different place, like the partner portal, we're going to require that the partner fill out certain paperwork before we'll go ahead and process the lead. So that's just an example of the conditional logic. And also, if it's coming in from a partner, we also need to know who the end customer is. So that field becomes activated, whereas before it was hidden because it's not applicable. So again, we're identifying the decision maker, capturing the summary, estimating the revenue. Now that field would typically be mapped over from the lead, but for some reason it was not mapped. But you can map data from one entity to the other. And again, you can see this guided business process flow. And when we started out on a lead, and now we're in an opportunity, which is a completely different entity, but you kind of was a seamless transition there. So that's the note, to note that. And we're going to add a salesperson to our team. And if you notice, it depends on the address of the customer. In this case, what we would typically have is somebody being added to the sales team automatically based on the address or the state of the opportunity. And if it's Pennsylvania, then it should be one certain salesperson. So depending on what territory they're in, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, then we're going to add somebody to the sales team. In this case, they must have not had a full address populated because the sales team person didn't populate. But again, that's kind of workflow that can be used to automatically assign a salesperson to a team, and it can also be used to assign leads to, from a queue to a particular person based on the opportunity size or the geography or the product type. So all that can be done with workflow or business rules, and you can make sure that it gets done by putting checks into your process to make sure they get done before they can advance to the next stage. So then what you can do in terms of sales automation and creating a consistent is to say, okay, you've answered all these questions. Now I will allow you to advance to the next stage. And as part of advancing to the next stage, I can update the close probability percentage. But instead of having people guess at what the close probability percentage is, it's like, show me. It's like we have a rational and systematic method that says if all these things are done, like you have a sales appointment lined up, then you can say that the closing probability has advanced. So I'm going to go ahead and add a sales opportunity here. I'm going to add David, who's our salesperson. I'm going to say that this is going to be an in-person meeting. Save it. Save. Changes have not been saved. Got too many Davids in the system. So progressing through the opportunity, we're going to create an Office 365 group. So this will allow us to collaborate. I'm creating a new group. So this enables us to have opportunity-related conversations, documents, calendars, and discussions. So as soon as that creates, that's where I'm going to upload the sales document. So I have a document library here where I can upload the sales document, sales agreement. And I can also take a look at what this looks like in Office 365. So that's the document library. That was not part of the script. Okay. Let's see. So that's there's quite a bit going on in terms of what's available with the Office 365 groups, but the nice thing now is that Office 365 groups are also available. You can share documents and such and have conversations even if you're outside of the realm of CRM. So I'm not quite sure I showed it in its entirety, but that's a little bit of a drill down to get into the Office 365 groups. There's quite a bit of moving parts there, but it does serve the purpose of providing a collaboration hub for a particular account or opportunity or project. So I'm going to go saying I went ahead and did that, I did that, and I'm going to select products for this opportunity. I'm just going to go ahead and hit add. I'm going to select a price list. And when I look at any suggestions that the system might have, it's going to give me some cross-sell and upsell opportunities. And I wouldn't have remembered to do that if I didn't have my guided business process to point me in the right direction. I can also print an opportunity for that quote. I'm going to go ahead and skip that for now so I can keep things moving. Because I did show that in part 1 of our series. And Cortana I'm also going to skip for now because I'm going to talk a little bit more about Azure machine learning as we go. And the next phase of this demo is to head over into the productivity mode. So I'm going to hit save to save my changes, and I'm going to bring up my mobile device here. I'm just going to show you that from the mobile device, you're seeing a lot of the same of what you can see in the CRM. So I've got my dashboards, I've got my open opportunities, I've got my open leads, and I can work any of these leads or opportunities. I could advance the status. I can see that I have an appointment. I can go to my task-based experience, select the appointment, fill out the information, go through a kind of wizard. And close the opportunity, close the appointment, and then also I can control the guided business process flow. I can get reminders that I have a meeting that I just went to. So we finish off the process by saying that we completed all those things, and then this is hopefully not what salespeople do, is just click the completion buttons as a matter of course. Again, we could have some logic here that kicks in. So if we have a discount that's greater than a certain percent, we can force an approval to happen in that case. For example, discount manager approved because the percentage was greater than 15%. That step wouldn't have come up otherwise. I have to bump up the revenue so it shows up on those dashboards to compete with the 50 million numbers. So we just were able to close that opportunity in a mobile environment. And the next thing I want to show is the fifth out of the 6 things that I wanted to show today. So that was just going over to an Azure, it's an Azure-based Adxstudio portal. And what the demo environment here is kind of simulating is that, you know, in terms of sales automation, a lot of there's a nice push these days towards self-service. So whether it's customer self-service or partner self-service, you have partners, you have customers. Customers are going to want to enter customer service cases. Sometimes they call them in, sometimes they email them in. We're going to talk about that at our next session in 3 weeks. We're definitely going to have the customers be able to come in and enter customer service cases over the portal. In this case, we've configured the Adxstudio portal, which is now part of the CRM system. Apparently I have something going on in about 15 minutes. So then what we can do now is we can enable those partners to create opportunities on the system. So they can create and manage their opportunities by logging into the system. So you see I've just logged into the system here. It's a customer self-service site. And there's no separate database here. This is using the CRM database, so all the information that you're seeing here is the same as what's in the CRM system. It's just presented differently. There's security, there's configuration settings that enable there's authentication. So you can't get to this until you're signed in. So basically we're going to select an end customer. So the partner is selling this on behalf of your company to another end customer. I'll just make up an opportunity, dollar amount, estimated close date. So purportedly the partner knows all this, so I don't have to worry too much about it because you know, as part of the Contoso Fabricom conglomerate, you know, we've delegated some of this authority down to our partners to make the to sell our products for us and our services. And they really actually need to tell us what the opportunity is about, because if they don't do that, then it doesn't help us much. So there's a little bit of configuration here, a business rule that, again, you want to have consistent practices, you have to enforce them. You have to have data validation, you know, pretty much every step of the way, and also guided business process. So between the two of them, data validation, business rules, guided business processes, you're going to have better data, you're going to have better selling opportunities, because you're going to be able to pull that data and decide, you know, who are the folks that are actually ready to buy, and who are the sales folks that are making the biggest impact, and where do you need to make improvements. So as we enter a new partner opportunity for SEPTA, you see it shows up right here. And if we go over to the CRM system, there really should be no lag whatsoever. It should be there already because it's part of the same database. And so the the other thing about having the partners selling for us is that we're taking care of our partners are taking care of us, and also knowing when a partner will have, or even a customer will have a customer service case open. I mean, we're going to want to see that. If they're calling in, then we're going to want to see any existing cases that are associated with that customer so that we can let them know that we care and that we're aware. Oh, actually, there's a call right now. So here is a computer telephone integration. And again, I'm hands-free. I'm just going to answer the call. And I can see, I'm guessing who it is. I'll say, hello. Hi, Gina. How are you? Thanks for calling in today. What's going on? Oh, okay. All right. That's good news. I'm I'm just looking at your record right here in the CRM system. My computer's a little slow today. Have you ever heard that before? But I do have your customer information record handy. I'm just waiting for the screen pop to show me all of the opportunities that we have with you so that I can be an intelligent customer service rep and ask you some more details about that opportunity. And the screen pop isn't quite working, so let's give it a minute. How's everything else going? All right, any plans? That seems like I'm going to be visiting friends. We're driving up to Connecticut. So, all right. Well, thanks for calling in. So let me just take some notes on your project. So which was the project again? Okay. So that's closing when? All right. Very patriotic for them. All right, well, it's better late than never, but our opportunity has popped here. So I can now see that we have, you actually had a customer service case open with us. Apparently there was an error when importing a solution in CRM. Awesome, that's good to hear. Well, so again, I'm just taking a quick look. So we're talking about the Azure Cloud Services database, and who was the end customer on that one? Ah, got it right here. Okay. Well, that sounds good. Thanks for calling in, Gina, and have a great weekend. All right. See ya. Bye. So that was our screen pop demonstration for an incoming call. We do have Ryan on the line, and he did mention that there was some slowness issues with the Chrome browser, which I'm sure QGate is going to be looking into, because I don't know. I mean, Ryan, you can comment on that if you like to. But as you can see, we have the
Can you hear me, Ian?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, that might have been actually a good. It's funny. I did a test in the background here, and I had a bit of a lag too. And I'm wondering if it's the GoToMeeting, GoToWebinar. Could very well be.
Okay.
We'll do some test and check on that.
That would be a good answer because that's obviously not something
to say that's unusually long is an understatement.
Okay, so that's again the curse of the demo environment. So we do see though that we have an activity that was just created with the phone call that came in, which I'm going to go ahead and complete. And now that that it's clear which opportunity we're talking about, we're going to go ahead and close that opportunity. Or at least we're going to schedule it to be a bit earlier than we expected. And we're going to close out the session with that. I think I covered just about everything that we set out to cover with 5 minutes to spare. So if there's anybody that hasn't left for the beach yet, let us know if you have any questions. We'll be here for another few minutes. And if there's anything that you want to follow up with at another time and you know, take a little bit deeper dive into any one of the topics that we covered today. It was a lot, and I know we just scratched the surface, whether it's Power BI or the Adxstudio or the CRM telephone integration or the Office 365 groups or the guided business processes. But as you see, there's a lot of technology and a lot of opportunity to you know, take the business processes and fine-tune them where they're very you know, specific in terms of what the next steps are and what you need to accomplish to get from here to there, and keeping people working consistently, so that really enables then reporting, better analytics, and better all-around sales opportunities, and as Prashant mentioned in our introduction, profitability. So again, thanks again for joining us on a Friday afternoon. Thanks Prashant, thanks Ryan for joining us.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Hope to see you after 21 days for our one more presentation on support. That is going to be important and interesting as this one is.
Good stuff.
All right. Thank you so much, Ian.
All right. Thank you. Have a good one.
You too. Take care.
Thank you, guys. Have a great
thanks,
weekend,
Ryan.
everybody.
You too. Bye.